Shushini, right? Atagani, right? Kumitiadachi, Kumate. And then from this stage, then we will then start the fight. So both people are prepared in fight position. Right, so we're going to go through the rules now, so please move in closer. Right, so these are techniques that are not allowed, so please don't get confused with those that are allowed. Right, so no strikes with the hand or arms to any part of the neck or face. No open hand strikes to the body. No grabbing the gi or any part of the body. Yummy. No sustained pushing. Yummy. This one's pretty obvious, but no kicks to or strikes to the groin. No kicks to the knees. No strikes are allowed to the spine. Yummy. And no striking a downed opponent. We're now going to move on to legal techniques. So punches and elbow strikes are allowed to the body. Can we start that again, please? Sorry, I forgot to give him a very important prop. Okay, kicks to the legs are allowed. Moshigiri to the outside, inside, back leg, hizagiri, and kikato with the heel. Kicks are allowed to the body, maigiri, hizagiri, yokogiri, Moshigiri, and the shiragiri. Right, so kicks are also allowed to the head. Moshigiri, Jodanuchi Haisokigiri, Hizagiri, Oroshi kicks, kikato, maigiri, shiramoshigiri, and kyagi. So, a wazari can be awarded for a technique that disables an opponent for less than 5 seconds. Yummy! Right, so Shiro just scored wazari. An ippon can be awarded for a technique that disables an opponent for more than 5 seconds. Okay, Aka, Ippon, Gachi. A wazari can be awarded if you sweep an opponent and follow up with an immediately controlled punch.
Shoot!
Warnings. So warnings will be carried through to the next round. So I'm going to go through if you both narrate, come back. Apologies. Right, so if the referee points to the floor and says something you can't necessarily hear, that's a chewy. If they point to the waist, that's a chewy itchy. So that's the first rung of the official warnings. If they point to the chest, that's a genten itchy. And if they point to the face, then it's a genten knee. If they point to the face and then away, that's a hansoku or shikaku, that's a disqualification. Now the important thing is that if, for instance, one person gets a genten knee and there's no other score in the fight, the other person will win that fight. So one person's got a warning, a genten knee, the officials will automatically give the decision to the other side. If the same person gets a genten knee but also gets a wazari, they cancel each other out. So then the fight will be judged on its merits of how the actual fight is going. In the next round, if no decision is given, the warning will carry forward. So the genten knee carries forward into the next round, but the score does not. So then the person that's done the illegal technique will automatically lose unless they get a score in the following round. So I hope that makes sense. There's also other warnings for leaving the area. So if you go outside of the area, yummy! Then the first time the official or the referee will do this action, which means that you have left the area, and they'll award you a chewy in the first instance, an informal warning. Now if that happens again and again, that warning will escalate onto an official warning. So if you've got a genten itch and you've left the area 3 times, you will then automatically get a genten knee, which means you will lose the fight. Now there is a difference between somebody leaving the area and somebody being forced out of the area. If somebody's being driven out of the area, that will be hopefully reflected in the official's decision at the end of that round. But that's different to somebody leaving the area so that they're not fighting. Right, so we're going to move on to Kyokushin rules. So Kyokushin rules, which is for 15 years and under, there is a different scoring system. They will be wearing helmets, and the kicks to the head have to be controlled. The only kicks that are allowed to the head are Mawashi-geri Jodan, Jodan Uchi Haisokugeri, Kaki-geri Jodan, and Ashira Kaki-geri Jodan. These must touch the helmet to score. If there's distance, if the leg goes up and it goes close to the target but doesn't make contact, it will not score. But they must also be controlled. If you make too much contact, you will not score, and potentially you will get a warning for making excessive contact. In the Kyokushin rule, no kicks are allowed to swing through the centre line to the head. Demonstration, please. Yeah, so all kicks to the head must be controlled and pull back. There is also a lower threshold for scoring. So we don't necessarily want to see somebody drop to the floor and stay down. If somebody is showing in Kyokushin rule signs of distress, okay, it's up to the official to then give a score earlier rather than later. So there is a different threshold in that category. Norei. Right, so at the end of the bout, when the decision has been given, you will then go off, so it will be the same Shomini, right? Shushini, right? Atagani, right? And then you shake hands with the opponent and the opposing coach.